Sean Combs. Narcissist? Part 4. Hello, I'm HG Tudor, continuing an examination of Sean Combs. One of the substantial problems that he has faced just recently was allegations from one of his former intimate partner primary sources of abuse. Cassie Ventura had filed a lawsuit against him, although it was soon dismissed. The Mail reported a lawsuit by singer Cassie containing allegations of beatings and abuse by music producer Sean Diddy Combs has been dismissed after it was settled. Pursuant to an agreement between the parties, plaintiff hereby dismisses this action with prejudice and without costs or fees to either party, a New York court said on Monday. TMZ reported after reviewing legal documentation. Because the dismissal was filed with prejudice, Cassie will not be able to file the suit a second time. The settlement was announced on Friday, a day after the lawsuit was filed, in a statement sent by attorney Douglas Wigdor, who represents Cassie, whose full name is Cassandra Ventura. The statement said they had reached a deal to their mutual satisfaction Friday evening, but no terms of the agreement were disclosed and no further statements would be issued beyond those made by Ventura, Combs and Wigdor in the email distributed by the lawyer. I have decided to resolve this matter amicably, on terms that I have some level of control, Ventura said in her statement. I want to thank my family, fans and lawyers for their unwavering support. Combs said, "We have decided to resolve this matter amicably. I wish Cassie and her family all the best. Love." Ben Braffman, an attorney for Combs, did not immediately respond to a message seeking comment. On Thursday, he said in a statement that Combs vehemently denial, first line of the twin lines of the narcissistic defence, the allegations. Now, whilst this has been dealt with, it's still worthwhile examining what was alleged. The lawsuit alleged Combs brought the singer into his ostentatious, grandiosity, fast-paced, and drug-fueled, lack of accountability, lifestyle soon after she met him and signed to his label in 2005 when she was 19 and he was 37. That would suggest a lack of boundary recognition and the need to control individuals. It would also show that because there's a transgression of the professional boundary and the age gap, that there's a breach of trust in a sense. Ventura, now 37, said Combs, now 54, began a pattern of abuse as soon as their on and off relationship began in 2007. The lawsuit alleged that, prone to uncontrollable rage, which sounds very much like heated ignited fury, Combs subjected Ventura to savage beatings in which he punched, kicked and stomped her, use of physical violence to control, absence of emotional empathy, absence of accountability. It alleges he applied her with drugs, lack of emotional empathy, absence of boundary recognition, and forced her to have sex with other men while he masturbated and filmed them, lack of boundary recognition, humiliation. According to the lawsuit, as Ventura was trying to end the relationship in 2018, Combs forced into her Los Angeles home and raped her. Lack of boundary recognition, criminal activity, sexual violence. Combs is amongst the most influential hip-hop producers and executives of the past 3 decades. He had been pictured in Miami over the tumultuous weekend. The article then talks about people that he had worked with in the past and then goes on to say how Ventura gained fame with the Ryan Leslie-produced hit single Me and You, which rose to number 1 on the Billboard Hot R&B Hip-Hop Songs chart in 2006. It was her only studio album. As an actor, she was in several projects, including Fox's Empire, Step Up 2, The Streets, and Spencer Confidential. The lawyer, Braffman, said that her demands were rejected as blatant blackmail. Ventura withdrew the initial threat before filing a lawsuit, riddled with baseless and outrageous lies, aiming to tarnish Mr. Combs' reputation and seeking a payday, Combs' lawyer said. Wigdor responded on Thursday in a statement saying Coombs had offered her 8 figures to silence her and prevent the lawsuit from being filed. She rejected his efforts and decided to give a voice to all women who suffer in silence. Wigdor praised his client in a statement included in his email announcing the settlement. I'm very proud of Ms. Ventura for having the strength to go public with her lawsuit. She ought to be commended for doing so. The Associated Press does not typically name people who say they have been sexually abused unless they come forward publicly, as Ventura has. Very serious allegations made there by Cassie Ventura. We will never know the truth of them, as the lawsuit that pertained to them has been dismissed and she can't resurrect that. Nevertheless, for her to make the allegations in the first place suggests that they may well have occurred, and it's not as if Mr. Diddy is without form for being something of a bit of a hot head, as I had explained in part 3. Therefore, there is likely to have been some substance to the allegations, which he has then sought to nullify because they naturally present a threat to control, and he's acted by reaching a confidential settlement. But it was worthwhile examining the nature of those allegations because they show a range of narcissistic indicators. Heated, ignited fury, a sense of entitlement to treat somebody in that fashion, objectification, invalidation, belittlement, humiliation, a variety of various manipulations which may, of course, be utilized for the purpose of asserting control over this former intimate partner primary source and to draw fuel from her by way of her responses to those activities. The allegations demonstrate repeated failure to abide by the recognition of boundaries. And therefore, on the basis that such evidence was available to support those allegations, it would demonstrate that there's a variety of narcissistic indicators. Given the allegations that have been made against him elsewhere, in terms of the chronology of events, which shows frequent instances of clashing with people, tempestuous relationships, and also allegations of abuse in other intimate relationships, as covered in the earlier parts, it seems more likely than not that Cassie Ventura's allegations had substance, and that is why Sean Coombs sought to have them dismissed, as there would be damage to his reputation, possibly even with criminal ramifications for him if the matter progressed. Further evidence which is starting to paint a picture of Sean Coombs and the way that he behaves. Join me in part 5 for more.